What are you facing today? What are you dealing with? Are you dealing with a marriage that looks hopeless? A prodigal child that you look at them and you think, who is this person? A child that is in bondage from drugs? I want to ask you a question. How are you praying over these situations? Are you getting wild and crazy in your prayers? Because I did. I did. When my child was in bondage from drug addiction, I got to the point that I prayed wild, crazy prayers. I would say, Lord, make him sick. Every time he takes those drugs in, I pray that his body rejects those drugs, that he gets so sick that he can no longer even consume drugs or alcohol. And I'm going to tell you something. Now that it's over with, that my child is set free, that he is not in bondage anymore, we get to compare stories where the situation looked hopeless, but he'll tell me stories of, Mom, I went to take this drug and I just got so sick and I thought I was going to die and I knew not to ever touch that drug again. He would be in situations and the Lord would just start showing me things, and he was nowhere near me. But God would show me things and I would begin to pray, and I would just say, Lord, you stop this, do whatever you have to do to stop this. And then, he would call me and he had been pulled over by the police. And I mean, it was just wild. But God was answering this mama's prayers. He was showing this mama things so I knew how to pray. When my husband decided that he wanted a divorce and that he no longer loved me, I knew that was deception from hell. I knew it was, and I refused to accept it. And, he would say, I don't want to be in this marriage anymore. I don't want to be married. And I would just look at him and I would say, you know what? I love you. And my love is not based on how you love me back. And I would just go to the Word of God and I would begin to speak over our marriage, what God says in His Word about marriage and how much He loves marriage, and God doesn't want to see divorce. And so I would speak that over him, and I would just say, God, turn his heart back to me. Make him love me again, Father. I cannot make him love me. Only you, Father, can turn hearts. And I just got wild with my prayers because I know that God answers prayers. Now, our marriage has been restored and it is the best that it has ever been. And I am so thankful that I didn't give up. I'm so thankful that I didn't listen to the people telling me, well, Shauna, you're just going to have to accept this. Well, Shauna, they have free will. You know what I say to the free will? Tell Jonah he had free will. Because God told Jonah to do something. Jonah said, no, I'm not going to do it. And what happened? God said, okay, Jonah, we'll do things your way. And so God changed Jonah's circumstances. And so the circumstances got him in the belly of the fish. And when the circumstances changed, Jonah decided that he was ready to do God's will. And as soon as he said, okay, God, I'll go to Nineveh, he got spit out of the fish's mouth and landed right there by Nineveh. So this is what I would pray. God, change the circumstances in their lives. Change the circumstances where they will want your will in their lives. So it's no accident that you've seen this TikTok today, because I want to encourage you to, whatever you're facing, whatever situation that looks hopeless, you just don't know what to do, I want you to go to the Word of God. If you don't know where it's at in the Word of God, I want you to Google it. I want you to put in, what does God say about marriage? What does God say about this, that, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And I want you to go find those scriptures. And I want you to start speaking them over that situation. And I want you to be able to see God move in that situation. And when you get those naysayers, oh, and the naysayers will come, that tells you, well, you have to accept this. You just have to accept this. You say, no, I will not accept this, because I don't have to accept anything in my life, my children's life, my grandchildren's life, my marriage. I don't have to accept anything that is not the will of God.